real cases before a real judge.
Plaintiff Julie Zima says the defendant was a friend of her boyfriend's, so she moved into his rental property. Julie claims after she moved in, the defendant started asking her out and even touched her inappropriately. And then she heard rumors that he was using cocaine. Julie's suing for a security deposit and court costs. Defendant Dan Pahosky insists he never hit on Julie, nor would he, because she's his age, which is too old for him. Dan denies using cocaine, and he's countersuing for property damages.
Start with you.
Okay, when I moved in to Dan's apartment, he was a friend of my boyfriend's, and we were real good friends. You know, everything was going great, and and then Dan started asking me, to go out for pizza and go out for a drink.
Okay. I'll let you give your side when she's finished. Go ahead.
And then after that, he got a little weird. Like one day he, helped me down from my chair and kind of rubbed my body up against his, kind of wiped his hand over my rear end. That was inappropriate. So then after that, he would sit in the parking lot after bar time in the middle of the night, 3 or 4 in the morning. I'm like, why is he sitting there? So I asked my neighbor, and he says, well, he does cocaine out there. I said, what? I said, are you kidding me? Why don't he just go home and do it? And he lives by himself and everything. Why would he do it in our parking lot?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Go ahead. You tell me your side.
First off, I've never hit on her. That is so ridiculous.
Oh.
She didn't say you hit on her.
She's too old
She
for
said
me.
you touched on her.
Oh, you liar.
Ridiculous, too. I've never done that. No way. And as far as being in a parking lot, I live close by. I do a drive-by all my apartments almost every night of the week.
3 in the morning?
Yeah.
Sitting out there, you just turn the car off and
I'm
sit?
not sitting out there, and I'm not doing cocaine in the parking lot. That's ridiculous.
Where you doing that?
I'm not doing it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not, and I have never, whatever's rubbing on her, nothing. That is ridiculous. She's having a dream.
Oh, you wish I was dreaming.
So you're a woman's dream? You're a woman's dream then?
Her, obviously with her, she's too old for me.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
She looks pretty fine to me.
Oh, I'm not saying that.
Her age
I'm not saying
seems
nothing
fine to
like
me.
That, but she's not my
Now,
type.
how old are you?
I'm 55.
55? All right. How old are you?
I'm 52. Who's older?
That's what I said. She's my age.
She looks
just about
40 and
too
you
old.
look 70.
He said I was too old.
She's still a little too old.
40 is still too old for you, huh?
My opinion.
All
Actually, I'm
right.
35.
How old are you?
I'm 55.
55? All right. How old are you?
I'm 52. Who's older?
That's what I said. She's my age.
She looks
just about
40 and
too
you
old.
look
He
70.
said I was too old.
She's still a little too old.
Plaintiff Julie Zima says after she moved into the defendant's rental property, he started touching her inappropriately. And then she heard rumors that he was using cocaine.
How does he owe you for a security deposit? Tell me what happened here.
Okay. When I moved into the apartment was
When?
trashed. When? June 1st of 2011.
All right.
When I moved in on that date, actually I moved in 2 days prior because I had to clean the place. The place was a disaster. It took 2 hours to do the tub, and then we washed the walls, cleaned everything spotless. And I was always on time with my money, never late. And when he would come over and collect rent, he was like, wow, this is nice. You done a really nice job in here. But then after that, when I'd call him up and ask him to come over and, turn on the breaker.
Thought you wasn't trying to get with him.
Yeah.
No. Heck no.
What did you call him to come over for?
No, I'd call him up because every time I turn on a light switch, it would blow the breaker when my air conditioner was going.
Oh, okay. You left that part out.
Oh, sorry about that. But the air conditioner would be running, and then when I go in the bedroom, flip on the light, it would blow. So I'd have to call Dan up to come over and turn on the breaker for me.
Did Dan come on in the bedroom and check this out for me?
No.
Didn't you say
I
it
had
went
a
off in the
boyfriend.
bedroom?
My boyfriend was his friend.
I've heard worse.
That's how
Just
I was
having
able to
fun
get the
with
part.
you.
Yeah.
So what happened?
So then, you know, he'd start screaming and yelling at me, and literally I was scared to death to call him because I would have to call my boyfriend and say, hey, why don't you call him because I blew the breaker again.
Right.
And he was like, that's your responsibility. So I'd say, oh, God. And I'd have to call him up, and then he'd scream and yell at me, make me scared to death.
But what happened with the deposit you're suing about?
Well, after my lease was up in June of 2012, I was going month to month. Well, I called him one time, and he told me that, you know, the breaker blew twice that day. So he got mad at me, and he was screaming at me, you have to get out. I mean, I got a little letter from my daughter because I
And when
turned
you
her-
asked for your security deposit to be returned, what happened?
Yes, I did. I asked him to return that, and I even sent him a letter.
Okay, you tell me what happened, sir.
When she moved in, it states, I write in the lease in the first paragraph that if written notice isn't given on the final month, it renews for an additional 12 months. So she was in the renewal part. It says right here that it is never a month to month. 2 months into the renewal, I go to collect the rent, I knock on the door, nobody. I look in, she's gone. I got no notice whatsoever. So she broke the lease, she moved out without any kind of notice whatsoever. Paragraph 7 of the lease states that she's responsible for current and past rent due till the unit re-rents.
Has it been re-rented?
And it re-rented, but I lost 23 days of rent.
Now let's talk about her deposit. You didn't return it to her because?
Because of her leaving and breaking the lease. I had 3 weeks of lost rent before I re-rented the apartment.
Yeah, but that's not, security deposits are not automatically transferred to pay rent unless the tenant agrees to allow you to substitute security deposit for rent.
Then
You have to sue for your rent.
Security deposit could have been for the $300 for the painting and the damage to my security light poles.
Okay. All right, and
then,
that's $325, right?
Right,
How much is security deposit?
$500.
All right, so she would have $175 left to be
Right.
returned. Why didn't you return that?
Because there was damage to a light pole outside.
Why
which
didn't
they
you
went
list that
over.
as damages to the property you're suing about? You only listed paint and cleaning fees, $325. The amount she wants in her security deposit is $500.
Right.
Even if I were to believe everything you put on paper, she would still have $175.
What about the $371 lost rent?
Not
May
suing
I
for
say
that, sir.
something?
Pardon?
May I say something? I have a paperwork here saying that I did not do that damage because I wasn't
Where's that
aware
from?
of it. It was from the gentleman who did do the damage.
Your guest.
But I have.
Oh, so there
aware
was
of it.
damage? How much damage was there?
Oh, he knocked over a 40-old pole that was rotted on the end, just barely tapped the darn thing. And I didn't see it. I wasn't even outside. I didn't see it. He just tapped it. He told me he tapped it, and it fell over. It was broken. And when he offered to fix it, Dan refused him to fix it and said, don't worry about it.
All right.
Why would I do that?
Okay.
Why did you do that, Dan?
I was going to fix it.
So I'm going to grant your property damage and I'm going to grant her security deposit. That's your judgment. Have a good day.
You know what? You're ridiculous. You think I
You
wanted
are.
to go out with
You're
you. You got to have your
ridiculous.
head examined. You are too old for me.
Oh,
Period.
yeah, I'm too old. Look
Absolutely.
who looks old.
That's all
Not
right.
me.
But you were too old for me, in my
No,
opinion.
I wasn't,
you know.
because you wouldn't have made those accusations
You're
and
dreaming.
wouldn't take
You're
me out and
dreaming.
ask me
You're dreaming.
to
You're
go out
still-
for pizza and
You're
drinks.
still dreaming.
No, I don't dream. You're dreaming. Why would you send me back to the parking lot then?
Whatever.